Howdy, and welcome to another episode of ApexAlpha Labs. So, what do we got today? The last 11th gen 11600 i5 Intel build of this year. We will be moving on to the Alder Lake 12th gen and the 600 chipset series, because computers do nothing but upgrade every 2 minutes. So here we are. Now this system, as you can tell, is basically an EVGA monster. It has, of course, the i5 11600K unlocked LGA 1200 i5, which is a very good gaming CPU. You can overclock it pretty high. I wouldn't go too high just because I don't like seeing CPUs sitting at 90 or 100C. Comes with a PX1 XC EVGA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti 8GB. That's in there right now. For its motherboard, it has a Z590M Gaming Edge Wi-Fi M-ATX MPG MSI motherboard. Flagship motherboard. You can confidently overclock your system because of this board. This board is kick-ass. It comes as its powerhouse is an EVGA B5 650 bronze power supply. And yes, this is more than adequate to power this thing, because under full load it doesn't even touch 400 watts from the wall. So I tried to keep my systems at 80% efficiency, in line with the efficiency curve of every power supply in every system that I build. I will usually go about 250 watts above its maximum draw, which this one is about 275 watts below maximum power supply load. This sits on average with my power meter, which is not hooked up anymore because I've ran it for over 24 hours on this system. This was sitting at one point, I think the highest I saw was 372 watts that were being drawn from the wall on this. So we have this EVGA power supply, MSI motherboard, Intel i5 1100 Rocket Lake CPU, a GeForce RTX 3060 Ti from EVGA. We have also a T.Force Team Group Cardea Zero Z330 PCIe 3.0 NVMe with 512 gigabytes. It is a very, very good entry-level PCIe NVMe. I like using these. These are one of my first choices besides the Intel 670p NVMEs, which I have in my system, but that's because I edit a lot of video and I do a lot of things on this, so I need very, very fast, shallow 4K read and writes. This is actually very good. I think it's at 1800 megabytes per second for write, and then like 21 or 2000 megabytes per second read, somewhere in that range. So we have an OLOY Warhawk Rgb Ram. This is at 3600 on XMP right now. I have it at 3600, so I wasn't able to tighten the timings for latency and stuff like that without the system becoming slightly unstable. It uses Samsung dies for the RAM, but I think they're B dies, so I can kind of see it kind of being a little wonky with tightening up the timings. I got it down to CAS of 16, but I was getting random memory faults, so I just put it back to CAS 18, and it's been running stable ever since, but it is on XMP. And then cooling this i5 11600K is an EVGA AIO liquid cooler, 120 millimeter, that is blowing out the back. It has got a push-pull configuration with the RGB fan in front where you would see, and then the completely non-RGB black case fan side blowing out. Had MSI Afterburner on here, running multiple benchmarks at the same time. The CPU didn't really shrug. I haven't seen it go above 65C. I was sitting at GPU was at 68C at 100% load or 99% load. It was going between those two. And the CPU was sitting at 46C at 4.6 gigahertz. Valley 2013 on ultra HD, 8K, 8 times anti-aliasing, everything maxed out, and it was pulling 134 to 200 frames per second, which anybody that's going to be gaming on 1080, this thing is going to be kicking ass. I'm telling you that. So what does it come with? Of course, you're going to get all the documentation for the motherboard, all of that stuff, warranty information. You're going to get a color changing remote, so you can just, you can change it, you can do whatever. And there's a button on top that also changes it, and then you can go into like super seizure mode, beep boop, with music beats and stuff like that. But I'm sensitive to those light patterns, so I don't do it. I just put it on purple because that's what I like. Purple is the color of royalty. So you get MSI branded flat and Phillips head screwdrivers that come with the board. This has onboard Wi-Fi AC 6E and Bluetooth. So this comes with all that Bluetooth. I mean, you can transmit it to connect it to speakers or streaming or whatever you want to do, headsets and stuff like that, and it'll stream to it. Comes with also the MSI USB that comes with the motherboard that has all your chipset drivers. It comes with the bloatware that I do not put on here. It comes with a little keyboard and fan and computer brush, so you get that. Now, as far as utilities and installed stuff, you get Malwarebytes. Let's see, I'm just gonna quote it right off of here because my brain ain't working too well. It comes with Malwarebytes. I install that and Browser Guard, so that way if you decide that you're going to look up some naughty websites and all that, you're not going to get infected with internet syphilis or whatever, and your computer doesn't turn into a pile of potato mash. CPU-Z hardware monitor. It comes with the Valley Benchmark 1.0 from 2013. Intel Extreme Tuning and Overclocking software for Intel's i5. You're going to get your gaming OSD, MS App Player, MS Display Kit for if you have a compatible 4K or 2K or whatever monitor from MSI or something like that. You can mess around with it. Comes with the OBS multi-platform streaming software on here built in. You get MSI Afterburner so you can do overlays. And it comes with GPU-Z on here. Now I've got it sitting there on the overlay and stuff like that. So let's see, 142 FPS, CPU sitting at 46, 47C, GPU is at 55C. It's going to climb up in a little bit. It's going to go up to like 68, 69C. Oh, 69C. All right, so you're going to get this. You get all your warranty information with it. Not only that, but it comes with standard with a 1-year parts warranty and a 2-year labor warranty. Labor, that covers chassis fans, that covers cables. If the AIO explodes and it's determined that the AIO failed and you didn't rip a fucking hose out of it or something like that, then that would kind of cover damages and stuff like that if it wasn't self-inflicted. You also get a custom sleeved cable that I built out of some stuff, and it matches the video card, which has black and red backplate on there, and also black and red for the MSI logo that is on the back of the case. The case is a Montec G05 Mid-ATX case, airflow edition, so you have 3 fans pulling in at the front through a mesh grill. You have 3 fans blowing out with 1 on a push-pull configuration with the AIO. It comes with MSI's control center, Mystic Light. It comes with everything that you would need to tweak the system to how you want it. Basically, it's going to be plug and play right out of the box. Take it out of the box, put it on your desk, plug in the power, plug in your cables, put the antennas in the back on there, and bam, it is done. You are cruising. You can go on the internet. You can do whatever you want. It's been optimized. It's been benchmarked. It's been tested. And the real question is how much is it? Well, I'm figuring for a window between $1,800 and $2,200 for this system. And there's going to be some of those that go, oh, well, I can build a system for blah, blah, blah. And you know what I say to you? Good luck getting one of these. Good luck getting one of these. Good luck getting that. Good luck getting any of those. You're not going to get any of those. So even if you had the money, you'd be running off of the UHD Intel 750 graphics that come with the Intel 11600K, unless you want to stick a 6-year-old GT 980 in there and call it a day, which basically is a bottleneck. Like you're throttling it. Ugh. I'm very OCD, especially when it comes to cables and connections and presentation. I've been building systems for over 22 years, 20 as a hobby and 2 years professionally. So for me to turn around and build a system and bring it to market and have it go to somebody is a lot of risk. One, you've got the Xavier factor, where you get people that scam and steal systems from you, but then you also have the Karens that will get a system and they will see one thing that they don't like and then they'll write a bad review about you. So you have to make sure that you appease as many people as possible, because I have very high standards when it comes to computers. So would I buy a system like this if I was looking for a entry mid-level system? Yes, I would definitely buy it. Part of me wants to keep the system and not give it to anybody. And I kind of feel that way with all of the systems that I build, because I take a lot of time, a lot of care, and a lot of passion and a lot of energy goes into every single system that I build. And I build quite a few systems, but every single system that I build, I want to keep. My wife would kill me. She'd yell at me. I would be yelled at consistently, constantly, if I kept every system that I built. But if it was as far as like, yeah, you're just being a salesman. Sure, I'm being a damn salesman. It's a business. But yes, I would definitely, wholeheartedly buy a system if I was looking for it, and I would buy this. You ain't going to find this with iBuyPower. You ain't going to find this with CLX. You ain't going to find this with Skytech or Alienware or Dell. You're not going to get a system like this. You're going to get OEM off-the-shelf garbage parts that is mass-sourced under contract. You're going to get systems in the same category. They're going to be 1 or 2 generations behind. They're going to be either the 11400 if they are an 11th gen. They're going to have 560 chipsets in here with crappy VRMs and no heat sinks on for power management. You're going to get non-Rgb Ram that's not XMP set. You're not going to be able to upgrade it at all. My systems are planned thoroughly for you to upgrade these in the future. It's got a Z590 motherboard in here. You can overclock this thing balls to the wall. You can overclock this system and that motherboard will just, because it's able and designed to handle that. Whereas you get these 560 chipsets and they just, yeah, 560 is okay, but the majority of them are just, they're garbage, bottom of the barrel 560s. Like I've taken apart an iBuyPower system. I've taken apart a CyberPower system. I've looked at a CLX and taken them apart. I've looked at Dell and taken them apart, Alienware, and they all use bottom of the barrel proprietary BS. This is designed and thought out for you to use this for a minimum of 5 years with high-end components. And yes, they came out with the 12th gen, a series with 600 chipsets. Speaking of which, this is the last 11th gen system that I have built. Now we're moving on to the 12th gen. In addition to the majority of the systems that I build are Ryzen 5000 series and 3000 series computers, which I love Ryzen. I love AMD. I think their systems are amazing. Price point for cores and clocks, and they're all unlocked, and you don't have to buy, a K variant in order to unlock the processor. I think they're awesome. I build Threadripper workstations all day long. I do all of that stuff. But as far as this on Team Blue, this is the last of those 11 series, and I wanted to make sure that this system was featured on this channel, because it's a moment, it's something that's signifying a change, a progression in our company, which is now we're moving on to different stuff. But just because the 12th gen has come out doesn't mean that this system is no longer capable. This system will kick ass. Kick ass. So I am very jealous of the person who buys this computer, because I like it so much that I want to keep it. And yeah, we're on to more Ryzen 5000 series builds, which is going to be the next one, which is this guy right here, which I mean, it's I say that enthusiastically, but I'm not a fan of certain companies. But this one is an AM4. It is an MSI. It is not a flagship. It is a B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. So it comes with Wi-Fi, and it is. I don't have to do a BIOS flash, which is wonderful, because it supports 5000 series processors right out of the box. So I don't have to do a BIOS flash to get it to work with it. It's decent. I don't like that it doesn't have a shield up here or anything, but it's Gen 4 ready. It's going to be going in another system. It's going to be going in, I don't know what I'm going to build, depending on what GPU from up there that I put on this desk before that I decide to put in there. And we'll see. But everyone is a mystery. I kind of just, sit there and I think about what system can I build next. So this is probably, like I said, is going to be in the realm of, $1,800 to $2,200. But with that, you get top-of-the-line parts, top-of-the-line build quality, and you get top-of-the-line optimization and benchmarking and testing before it even goes out the door. So until next time, guys, gals, and other various pronouns, I will see you in the next video.